Welcome back to another installment of The Basics, and on today's show I want to answer a lingering question that always seems to be out there in regards to Magic the Gathering, and that is, when deck building, should you have an attack-based deck or a defense-based deck? Or can you possibly combine them into something? Well, if you stick with me on today's show, I'm going to show you. Now, as I've mentioned on previous episodes of this show, I have a deck made up for every color in Magic, and I've even combined a couple colors to make a dual deck. And while it's easy for anyone to say, yeah, you can make an attack deck, or yeah, you can make a defense deck, if you're limiting yourself in your deck building to just one of those types and not combining the essence of both, your deck will have severe limitations, and your opponent will exploit those limitations and dispose of you rather quickly. For example, this is my combination red and black deck, and it does have a few multicolor cards mixed in. It is a power deck in the sense that it is made to stomp the shit out of my opponent, but it does have defense characteristics in case I get into trouble. So I can get out some early creatures that are low cost to help me defend right away, but then I can very quickly, through the aid of other cards, bring out heavy hitters which can go on a rampage. My green deck, I've showed you this before in other episodes, whereas I have a lot of worms, but I also have a lot of 1/1 creatures in here as well. Again, this is a stomping deck with worms and spiders, but it also has farmhands and other 1/1s that can put up a quick defense. Probably I have more of those in the green deck than I do in my combination red-black, because it's more of a defense first, attack later deck, whereas it doesn't really matter with the combination deck. The last example I'm going to show you is my blue deck. My blue deck is more for defense, if you look at it that way. It does have some big creatures that can attack, but my attacking creatures are mainly flying and hard to block. So I can put up many walls, I can put a lot of smaller creatures and lots of them to defend, making it hard for anyone to get past them, and then while they're stymied, my flying creatures will just fly over and pounce when the time comes. So that should give you an idea of how to set up attack versus defense decks when you're constructing yourself. And absent right now are my white deck, my black deck, and my just straight red deck, because I've told you before they are set up for certain things as well. Basically, when you're constructing a deck for play in Magic the Gathering, not only do you have to pay attention to the color of mana that you're using and the amount of lands in your deck and what you want to have in the deck, but you have to have at the forefront of your mind attack versus defense and what your deck hopes to accomplish in the first bunch of turns, the middle of the game, and how you're going to mop up your opponent if you've gotten far enough to take him right down. And this is not just with creatures in play, but also both players' life totals as well. You have to set up your deck to do damage to more than just his creatures. You have to take his life points down. That's the whole point. I'll leave it up to you to decide from here on in how to set up your decks. I will be doing a Q&A episode further down the line. Have a great day.